All right, guys, it's Jonathan. This is a member video. I suggested HOG in our Sunday week ahead. Today it's Monday. In our Monday live class, I went over the trade, but I said I would look into it deeper because there was a lot of unusual options activity today. So let's go over that unusual options activity. If we look in the May expiration, and if you're looking for unusual options activity, the big boys are going to be playing in the quarterlies. Once in a while, you'll see it in the weeklies, but usually the quarterlies is where you want to go to. About 4,000 contracts trade right here. 4,000 contracts. If these get in the money, whoever bought those is going to be short for 100,000 shares. Using 4,000 as the example, 4,000 times 100, because each option is 100 shares, this person's going to be short 400,000 shares of HOG if they get in the money. That's a pretty significant amount relative to the overall volume, so that's why we classify that as unusual options activity. Now, the reason I wanted to make a video for the members about this trade is because I was having trouble interpreting the unusual options activity when we were live, so I wanted to look into it deeper. Here's what we're looking at, and I'm only looking at the 17 puts. In Thinkorswim, you could just go right here, put series 17 puts in May. So that's what we're looking at. Usually, in order to interpret unusual options activity, you could pull up a chart, go to a small time frame, 1 day, 1 minute, and look at the behavior. The behavior of HOG all day has been straight up. That makes me think that the orders that were going through the options market are bullish, because if there are bullish orders, and what's a bullish option order? Buying a put is bearish. Selling a put, you're betting for the stock to go up. So if the order was in fact a bullish order, that would mean the customer who did the 4,000 or 3,700 puts was selling, and the other side of the trade was buying. So the other side of the trade, the market makers were buying what the customer was selling. The market makers, when they buy puts, are also getting short stock, right? Or in options terms, they're getting short deltas. How can option traders hedge an options contract? They could buy back their deltas. For instance, 17s have a delta of 0.29. So if I'm long 10 of the 17 puts, I'm also short 290 deltas. If I wanted to get delta neutral, I could go and buy 290 shares of the underlying stock right here. If I did that trade, guys, I'd buy puts. That would get me short 290 shares. I would buy 290 shares, and then my position is what we call delta neutral. When you have a delta neutral position and you're long an option contract, you're long a put or long a call or long a straddle or strangler, vertical or whatever you want to be long, you're long volatility. You're going to make money when the volatility rises. The person who sold that is getting short volatility. If they're delta neutral, they're going to make money when volatility goes lower. But let's get back to HOG. I shared this trade because HOG, Harley-Davidson, gets 50% of their gross operating income from financing deals. Harley-Davidson has a ton of credit risk. Harley-Davidson releases earnings tomorrow morning, April 28th. That Harley-Davidson has a significant chance of gapping lower. The options aren't pricing in nearly enough risk, in my opinion. So that's what started this. As I was going through and explaining the trade, when I saw the unusual options activity, that's something I wanted to dig in deeper and understand further. My conclusion still is that they're buying puts, but the market continues to go higher. I can't really explain that. I'm kind of confused with this one. Here's why I think they're buying puts. I just looked at the 17 strike and I put it in time order. So 8:30 this morning, going out to local time, it's 1 o'clock. Okay? Just looking at the 17 puts. Now, here's why I think they were buying. Implied volatility. Implied volatility is the volatility the market's pricing in. Let's look. We're only looking at the 17 puts. I really wanted to isolate everything to try to make this example as clear as possible. And if you don't understand it, I really recommend watching it back. And you're also welcome to send questions to support@mastersinTrading. But you'll notice at 8:30 in the morning, the implied volatility that was being traded with stock, remember, $1 lower, was 110%. 110% all morning. 106, 106, 108, 110. So right around all morning, and you can see we're only at 8:33. It's only 3 minutes after. But as we continue throughout the day, volatility goes higher. And it slowly goes higher. It slowly goes higher. Even with the VIX going lower today, you'll notice that volatility really getting up there, getting up to 127, 128. And I know out there you may be thinking, well, yeah, it's earnings volatility, of course. But you don't see volatility coming up like this 30 points in a relatively short amount of time. So it's my opinion, guys. I think they're buying those puts. Why the market's going up? I can't explain that. Another thing that I've been doing is going through conference calls. So in the conference call transcript, they talked about their delinquency rate going higher, 27 basis points higher than 2018. And they were also coming out with a new program for new riders, first-time buyer program, and the dealer paid no money down program. Now, while some of these loans may increase delinquency and credit loss metrics, they're prudently underwritten, and we expect the increased revenue from these programs to more than offset the higher expected risk. I don't think they're going to say that anymore. Nobody thought they can get in front of what's going on with COVID-19, but companies that took on balance sheet risk are going to pay the price. And Harley-Davidson, unfortunately, in my opinion, is one of those companies. The trade that I like to do is I like these 18s. That's what I'm in. We have earnings out tomorrow morning. If earnings are really good and the stock goes up to like 25, 26, 27, I will therefore go out to June and look to buy puts. Okay? Because when a company gets 50% of their operating income from lending, in an environment when lending is going to get treacherous, I want to be short that company. So that's what I'm doing. If I lose and the market rallies, I will probably get back into HOG in June buying puts because this company is sad, really. Okay? Hope it helps, guys. Jonathan Rose, owner, Masters in Trading.